When I speak of softness, I am not speaking of fragility. I am speaking of the kind of strength that knows how to bend without breaking. In this world, people will try to convince you that hardness is the only way to survive. But what they forget is that the human heart was never built from stone. It was made to feel, to care, to connect. Life will hand you disappointments, heartbreaks, and moments that knock the breath out of you. And yet, the greatest courage you will ever show is the courage to remain warm in a world that has gone cold, to love even after being hurt, to trust even after being betrayed, to rise without becoming bitter. Softness is not weakness. Softness is the wisdom that tells you, I will not let the world make me smaller than I am. It is the strength of a person who has seen darkness and still refuses to let their light go out. You see, people may forget what you said or what you did, but they never forget how you made them feel. And the people who choose softness, who choose kindness, grace, and compassion, they leave a mark deeper than anything else. In every struggle, you have the choice to harden or to soften. And when you soften, you open yourself to healing. You create space for joy to return. You allow your spirit to breathe. The hardest battles are often fought inside the mind and heart, but the victory comes from the decision to remain human, to remain gentle, to remain open to life. So I say to you, rise with softness, stand with softness, lead with softness. Because in a world that tries to harden you, choosing to stay soft is the bravest thing you will ever do. Softness is not weakness. Softness is knowing who you are in a world that keeps trying to harden you. It is choosing compassion when life offers you cruelty. It is standing tall in storms that want to break you, yet refusing to let bitterness take root in your spirit. The world will hand you reasons to close your heart. It will give you moments that make you question the goodness of people, the value of kindness, and the purpose of gentleness. But the truth is simple. The world needs soft hearts the most. The ones who love, even after being wounded. The ones who still believe in humanity, even after witnessing its darkest corners. The ones who speak with warmth when anger would be easier. Staying soft is a courage learned over time. It grows from every moment you survived when you thought you wouldn't. It rises from every memory of pain you transformed into wisdom. Softness is resilience because it requires strength to feel deeply, to care genuinely, to keep your soul open when life wants it closed. Softness is how you rise, again and again, without losing yourself. Softness is not a fragile thing. It is a flame that refuses to die even when the wind tries to smother it. People often mistake softness for vulnerability, but true softness is a decision forged in fire. It is shaped by the moments you were brought low, yet refused to stay there. It is born from the days you carried your pain quietly, offering kindness even when you felt none inside yourself. The world will challenge your softness. It will test you with disappointment, betrayal, and loss. It will place burdens on your shoulders heavy enough to harden the strongest heart. But still, you rise. You rise with tenderness because you know that the world has enough harshness. You know that someone needs to choose empathy. Someone needs to choose understanding. Someone needs to choose love. It takes courage to be soft in a world that rewards cruelty. It takes strength to speak gently when everyone else shouts. It takes power to let your heart remain open when life has given you every reason to close it. Softness is strength because it is chosen, not given. Because it survives, because it heals, and because it transforms everything it touches. Softness is not resignation. It is not surrender. It is grace under pressure. It is dignity in chaos. It is compassion in a world that is often unkind. It is proof that you can be scarred and still be beautiful, hurt and still be hopeful, tired and still be kind. Your softness is not your weakness. Your softness is your superpower. Softness is not the opposite of strength. Softness is strength, but you only learn that once the world has pushed you hard enough to try to take it from you. There are moments in life where the weight of everything you've survived rests on your shoulders like a storm. People expect you to become colder, tougher, harsher, as if pain should automatically turn you into stone. But my child, stone doesn't bend, stone doesn't heal, stone can't love. Softness, though, softness bends without breaking. Softness allows you to feel without collapsing. Softness gives you the courage to keep your heart open even after it's been bruised. Anyone can grow hard. It takes no courage to put up a wall, but it takes tremendous strength to stay kind in a world that has not always been kind to you. The world will test your softness over and over again. It will give you reasons to close your heart. It will place people in your life who misunderstand you, misuse you, or underestimate you. And when that happens, the easiest thing in the world is to shut down, to stop trusting, to become someone else entirely. But you do not survive by closing. You survive by choosing softness again and again, not because you haven't been hurt, but because you refuse to let that hurt define who you become. Softness means you can stand tall while still being gentle. You can speak truth without raising your voice. You can walk away from what harms you without harboring bitterness. It takes maturity to forgive. It takes confidence to stay calm. It takes power to stay compassionate. Do not let the world convince you that harshness is strength. Harshness is often a mask for fear, but softness is a decision. Softness is a skill. Softness is a victory. You are allowed to be warm even when life feels cold. You are allowed to love deeply even when the world feels distant. You are allowed to be gentle even when others expect hardness. Because your softness is not a flaw. It is not a weakness. Your softness is your crown.
When the world becomes loud, you must learn to return to yourself, to breathe, to come home to your body, to touch the peace that is already within you. Softness begins with presence. To stay soft in a hard world is to practice mindfulness, to see clearly without judgment, to respond with compassion instead of reaction. Many people believe strength is shown through force or control, but true strength is the ability to remain calm in the middle of chaos. When you breathe mindfully, you create a space wide enough for understanding, for patience, for love. Anger may arise, pain may arise, fear may arise, but you do not have to become those things. You can observe them gently and acknowledge them and let them go. Softness is the practice of allowing yourself to be human, without running from your emotions, and without letting them consume you. When someone speaks harshly to you, you can choose not to mirror their hardness. You can choose to breathe and return to your center. That this is not passiveness, this is mastery. This is how we transform suffering. To stay soft is to choose peace again and again, no matter how many times life challenges you. With every mindful breath, you water the seeds of compassion within you. You become a refuge for yourself and for others. Remember, when the world is hard, your gentleness is not a disadvantage. It is a gift, a path, a way of living that heals. Softness begins in the breath. When the world moves fast, when voices clash, when life feels sharp and demanding, gentleness becomes a form of healing. To stay soft is to return to yourself, to breathe with awareness, and to let each breath uncover peace you thought you lost. Gentleness is not passive. It is a choice to break the cycle of harshness, a choice to respond instead of react, a choice to let understanding guide you even when confusion surrounds you. When you treat your emotions with softness, they release their grip. When you treat your pain with softness, it begins to dissolve. When you meet the world with mindfulness, you protect the calm within you. The world becomes softer when you are, not because it changes immediately, but because your presence changes what you touch. Your gentleness becomes a lighthouse for others lost in the storm. Your peace becomes a refuge. And slowly you realize that staying soft is not something the world does for you. It is something you cultivate inside, moment by moment, breath by breath. Softness lives in the quiet spaces of the mind. It is found in the breath you take before you respond. It is found in the silence you allow before you speak. When the world becomes overwhelming, gentleness is the path back home. When you breathe with awareness, you give yourself permission to pause. And in that pause, you discover clarity. You begin to notice where the tension lives in your body, where fear hides in your chest, where anger sits heavy in your mind. And instead of fighting these emotions, You greet them with softness. You invite them in. You listen to what they're trying to teach you. Softness is understanding that every feeling is temporary, every storm will pass, every wound can heal. When you bring gentleness to your own suffering, you create space for transformation. You stop running from your emotions and begin to walk with them. You stop resisting life and begin to flow with it. Being soft does not mean being powerless. It means you choose not to be controlled by the chaos around you. You choose inner peace over inner conflict. You choose patience when frustration rises. You choose compassion when judgment feels easier. When you walk gently, the world feels less heavy. When you think gently, your heart becomes lighter. When you speak gently, you offer healing to others without even trying. Softness spreads. It is contagious. One calm presence can change a room. One mindful breath can change a day. One gentle soul can change a life. Softness begins with awareness. It begins with recognizing that you do not need to move through life as if you are in constant battle. When you slow down, when you breathe with intention, when you are fully present in this moment, a quiet kind of strength rises within you. Mindfulness is not an escape from life. It is a way of returning to yourself. When you breathe gently, you tell your body that it is safe. When you speak gently, you tell your heart that it is understood. When you think gently, you create space for peace to enter. The world encourages speed, noise, pressure. It tells you that you must keep moving, keep striving, keep fighting. But peace is not found in the future. Peace is found in the now. Softness is not born from avoidance. It is born from understanding. You cannot transform your life by resisting your emotions. You transform by observing them without judgment. When anger appears, recognize it, breathe with it. When fear rises, do not shame yourself for feeling it. Invite it in gently. Look at it with compassion. Every emotion is a messenger. And when you listen softly, you begin to understand yourself more deeply. Softness is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the choice to move through life with intention rather than reaction. It is the ability to stand in a storm and remain centered. It is knowing that you can respond with peace even when the world tries to pull you into chaos. You must remember, gentleness is contagious. The way you speak affects others. The way you think affects the world around you. When you walk with softness, you give others permission to do the same. You become a quiet refuge in a loud world. Softness creates clarity. Clarity creates freedom. And freedom creates happiness. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. And watch how life begins to soften in return.
In a world that demands constant toughness, choosing softness becomes an act of resistance. Self-preservation is not selfishness. It is survival. It is the refusal to let the world drain the life from you. So many people walk through life defending themselves, building walls, hiding their vulnerability, but hardness will not save you. Hardness only buries you. Softness, true softness, is a radical declaration that you deserve to exist fully, without apology. You deserve rest. You deserve care. You deserve to protect the parts of yourself that the world tries to erode. There will be times when the world pushes against you, when you feel unseen or unheard. But you must learn to defend your softness the way others defend their pride. Your tenderness is a force. Your empathy is a weapon. Your sensitivity is proof that you have not surrendered your humanity. When you love yourself fiercely, you reclaim the power that hardship tried to steal. When you nurture your spirit, you rise. When you choose compassion instead of cruelty, you rise again. Softness is not about avoiding the fight. Softness is about fighting the right battles. The ones for your spirit, your joy, your peace. The world may tell you to toughen up, but I am telling you, stay soft, stay awake, stay alive. Because a soft heart in a hard world is not a weakness. It is a revolution. In a world that demands toughness, softness becomes a radical act. When systems push you to exhaustion, when expectations shape you into someone unrecognizable, choosing softness is choosing yourself. It is refusing to let society dictate your worth. It is standing in your truth without shrinking. Self-preservation is not selfish, it is survival. It is recognizing that your softness is sacred. It is knowing that tending to your emotional world is a form of rebellion in a society that profits from your numbness. Softness allows you to feel, to rest, to protect your inner world from forces that try to drain it. Being soft does not mean you accept injustice. It means you refuse to let injustice steal your humanity. It means you fight fiercely while keeping your heart intact. It means you speak truth without becoming hardened by the world that needs that truth. Softness is power. It is clarity. It is the decision to stay alive in every sense of the word, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. When you stay soft, you reclaim the parts of yourself the world told you to hide. You become whole. There is nothing more radical in a hard world than daring to remain soft. When society tells you to be unbreakable, to be silent, to carry your pain in secret, choosing to stay soft becomes an act of rebellion. Softness is self-preservation. It is recognizing that you deserve rest, care, and compassion, not only from others, but from yourself. It is refusing to let exhaustion define you. It is refusing to let the world numb you. It is claiming your right to feel deeply in a culture that tells you to suppress your emotions. Softness is political. It challenges every system that benefits from your burnout, your silence, your self-neglect. It confronts the belief that strength must look like stoicism or sacrifice. Softness says, I matter too. My boundaries matter. My voice matters. My healing matters. Being soft means standing firm in your truth without apology. It means embracing your vulnerability as a source of power. Vulnerability is not exposure. It is authenticity. It is the courage to show up as your whole self in a world that prefers you fragmented. Softness does not mean you avoid confrontation. It means you confront what needs to be confronted without losing your humanity. It means you fight for justice with a fierce heart that has not been hardened by the very injustices you oppose. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose peace over chaos. You are allowed to be soft and powerful at the same time. Softness is your right. Softness is your resistance. Softness is your liberation. Softness is not just emotional. Softness is survival. Softness is political. Softness is a declaration that you deserve to exist fully, honestly, and unapologetically in a world that often demands your silence. There is a misconception that to be soft is to be passive, but those who have lived in the margins, those who have carried trauma, those who have fought simply to be seen, they understand that softness is not passive at all. Softness is intentional. It is a refusal to become what the world has tried to make you. Self-preservation is an act of softness. To rest when society pushes you to exhaustion is soft. To say no when the world expects you to say yes is soft. To honor your emotions, your limits, your boundaries, this is softness. And this softness is power. The world often tells you that you must be hard to survive, but hardness without purpose is just another form of damage. If you lose your tenderness trying to stay alive, what part of you will remain when the struggle is over? Softness keeps you connected to your humanity. Softness protects the parts of you that systems of oppression try to crush. But softness is not comfortable. It requires vulnerability. It requires honesty. It requires confronting your truth, even when your truth is painful. It means showing the world your real self, not the version you've been taught to perform. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of authenticity. Softness allows you to speak your truth without shrinking. Softness allows you to stand in your identity without apology. Softness allows you to love yourself fiercely in a world that profits from your self-doubt. Do not confuse softness with surrender. Softness is strategy. Softness is clarity. Softness is resistance. It is how you protect your spirit while fighting for a better world. And when you choose softness, you teach others that they can choose it too. Your softness is not a quiet thing. Your softness is a revolution.